Ooh, Dark Helm looks nice. Hey everybody, F-Bomb Fitzgerald, helping a couple of my friends finish their Hellstone contract. Honestly, Hellstone is one of my least favorite of the Halloween maps, and I'll only play it, enough times to complete my contract, and if I'm in a generous mood. Oh, watch out for the pumpkin bombs, Heavy. I don't know why people walk over these things without clearing them out. It certainly terrifies me. But yeah, while I'm helping my friend Kit and Google clear out their contracts, I figured might as well do a little bit of a map review and kind of talk generally about the event as well. So I'm running stock because on most Halloween maps, there's a lot of crazy stuff with the random crits, the random pumpkins, boss spells, you name it. And honestly, Hellstone is one of the worst offenders for having just way more of all of those things than almost any map has of any one of them. I've never actually made a video where I've given my opinion on random crits. For the most part, I prefer not to have them in game, but I don't think that they are the worst thing in the world. But one thing that I never understood, oh gosh, yep, I gotta get out of that area. One of the things I never understood about the Halloween event though was if you're gonna have exploding pumpkins, crumpkins, and spells, do you really need to keep random crits active during the event? That never made sense to me, because it just sort of seems like it's a little bit too much. You could have either the random crits or the crumpkins, but having both, just too much of an S show for me. Is this one of the maps that spawns a boss when you cap a payload point? Yeah, it is. It looks like we got the Skeleton King here. So yeah, that's another mechanic I've seen on a bunch of Halloween maps that I disagree with, which is when you cap a payload point or a cap point, having a boss spawn. In a Koth map where both sides are essentially contesting the same objective, I could see that being okay, but on a payload map, it should reward the capping team for getting the point and punish the defending team for letting blue get the cap. And instead it's the opposite, where if blue manages to cap a point or a payload, they get punished essentially by having a boss spawn right on the payload. I never understood that. Shouldn't we be incentivizing people to play the objective and cap? So if anything, I feel like when you cap a payload point in a Halloween map, if a boss is going to spawn, and I don't think that they should, I would have the boss spawn somewhere in the defender's backline, maybe at their spawn or something, and I wasn't able to communicate that spy in time. And honestly, it never made sense to me to have bosses on payload maps to begin with, because there's already an objective. Ooh, that was a lucky arrow. I'll pretend like I meant to hit that. But yeah, so in a map where it's like everybody's fighting the same boss or there's a truce, sure. But on a map like this where it's like one team has a hard objective like pushing a payload, having just random crap like various bosses coming out and having to run away from them, that never made the game more fun to me. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you find that having a boss makes the gameplay more enjoyable for you. Ooh, nice find there. I always feel a little bad killing people while they're eating. My potentially unpopular opinion is that every map that has a boss during Halloween would be better without the boss. Like, some of the maps are just beautiful, and I find the gameplay loop gets disrupted by having, short circuit spell! And that's why you hold on to an uber charge. Yeah, short circuit spell might deserve its own video at some point. But yeah, of all the super spells, I feel like that one is the most busted. It's instant startup, the area of effect is way too big, it lasts way too long, and probably worst of all, there's really no counterplay to it. If you happen to be anywhere in the area of it, you're essentially automatically dead. Using an Uber on yourself is kind of the only way to survive it. If you have the Uber spell, that's not enough to survive it. I feel like you might be able to wiggle out of it by spamming strafe keys, but even that would be a glitch, and I gotta run. I always hated playing tag with the Headless Horseman because even if you successfully hit somebody... Oh great, now I gotta run from 2 bosses. Awesome. Ooh, Fire Horns and Dark Helm Horns. That's nice. Alright, that took several minutes to run away from literally 2 pointless super bosses, but at least I built up Uber during that time, which should help with the final push through this terrible choke. Yeah, the final choke point of this map is one of the worst designed things in the entire Halloween event, where not only are there multiple bosses, it's, oh my god, 3 Monoculi. Oh boy. So yeah, it's multiple bosses over a pit, so anything can knock you into the pit, and man, I am having trouble even getting out of my own spawn here, which is pretty bad. But maybe I can pick up a super spell to at least distract Red. Alright, get out of my way, please. And just gonna try and get as close as possible to the... Whoa! Alright, would have been nice if I could get him before he got the dispenser, but alright, you know what? I don't even care. I took care of a spy, I dropped a super spell. Alright, and again, I'm having trouble getting out of spawn because there are multiple super bosses just hanging out outside the doorway. So yeah, I feel like bosses in general make Halloween worse, and certainly multiple bosses at a choke point at the end of a map are literally, why would you do this? It's almost like the map maker was daring Valve to put in such a badly designed map into the rotation, and of course Valve did. Anyway, hopefully we can get the last push. There we go! Let me know in the comments what you think of Hell Tower, or what you think about Halloween bosses in general on Halloween maps. I hope you're having a great Scream Fortress, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.